Hello, hello, and welcome to the class all about how to double your traffic with Pinterest. I am so excited that you're here, and I think you're gonna love today's class. So if you're new here, my name is Beth Ann Schwamberger, and I'm the founder of BrilliantBusinessMoms.com. I'm all about helping women just like you to grow a business on the side while also spending time with your family. So, one of the things that I am most passionate about is coming up with strategies that help you to grow your business in a way that is smarter and you don't have to work harder to do it. I am all about finding ways to make the biggest impact in terms of the people you reach and the growth you're able to have without spending your days chained to your computer, chained to your phone, just constantly on social media, hustling around the clock for every single sale that you bring in. It does not have to be that way. Yes, growing a business takes work, but again, there are ways to save yourself some time and really dig in and focus on the strategies that are going to get you the biggest results rather than spin your wheels trying 100 different strategies every single day, just kind of hoping that one of those pays off. So again, today's class, all about how to double your traffic with Pinterest. This is one of those brilliant strategies where once you learn it, you'll be able to set it on autopilot and bring that consistent traffic in for your online shop, your blog, whatever your business is. You'll be able to bring that in even while you sleep because we're going to set it on autopilot. So I do want to let you know that I'll be answering questions at the end of class, but what I'm going to do in order to be sensitive to everyone's time is I'll be taking the most commonly asked questions that I get all about growing your business with Pinterest, because I want to make sure I can help the most students as possible to get their questions answered during class. But if you have a really specific question, if you want to dig deep on, hey, Beth Ann, this is what my business is all about, and here's the question I've got for you. Please don't be shy. What I want you to do is just pop that question into the chat. It'll get sent to my team and I, and then we can respond personally to that question via email. We'll get back to you within the next day or so. Okay, so again, don't be shy. We are happy to help you out. We want to be able to answer your specific questions. You'll just need to pop those into the chat, and we'll get back to you within a day. So that's enough about me, but you are here to learn. So I'm going to jump on over to my slides and we're going to get started. And we are going to double your traffic with Pinterest. So today you'll learn the 3-step system for putting Pinterest traffic on autopilot. You'll learn how to quickly create pins that stand out in the Pinterest feed, how to craft pin headlines that get results, and the stress-free way to double your blog or shop traffic. Get ready because today's lesson will be action-packed. Grab a pen, grab a notebook or your notes, and grab a bottle of water or a mug filled with your favorite beverage, okay? Because we are going to be moving quickly through this content. You'll want to have your phone turned off, close out your windows, because Pinterest is a super visual platform. I've got loads of visual examples to share with you on the screen, so you'll want to have both your eyes and your ears peeled so you don't miss a thing. So you're in the right place. If you keep hearing about how amazing Pinterest can be, but you have no idea how to use it to bring in more traffic and sales. You're also in the right place if you're tired of pinning like a crazy person and crossing your fingers hoping one of your pins takes off. This used to drive me crazy when people would say, well, I don't know, one of my pins just went viral and I'm not really sure what happened. No, we are all about solid strategies that actually work, not crossing our fingers. You're also in the right place if you're overwhelmed. How can you possibly fit one more marketing strategy into your day? Anybody else feeling a little bit like this? Feeling a little bit crazy? Yep, me too. In late 2015, after working my buns off for over a year to get my blog to its first 10,000 page views per month, I knew there had to be an easier way to grow my blog and my online business than constantly guest posting and begging influencers to share my stuff. You see, I had recently quit my job as a nurse to stay home with my little boy and have more time with him. And I had great big dreams of growing my online business into a multi-six-figure business so that I could bring my husband home from his demanding job in the Marine Corps. And I knew that wasn't going to happen with only 10,000 page views a month on my blog. So in November of 2015, I discovered a Pinterest strategy that worked. And this Pinterest strategy has worked to drive loads of traffic to my online shop and to my blog. So it can work for any kind of website you might own. Pinterest changed everything for me. So you can take a look here at my recent shop stats. The main source of traffic for my online store is social media. The main form of social media that drives traffic to my store is Pinterest. And the funny thing is, my team and I spend a lot more time posting on Facebook and Instagram. And I spend a lot more money on Facebook and Instagram ads as well. But with Pinterest, I've set things up, they run on autopilot, and every single day I'm getting traffic to both my blog and my shop for free with my Pinterest system. Here's a look at my blog stats. So other than direct traffic, again, Pinterest is the very next source of traffic for my blog, and my team and I spend such a tiny amount of time on Pinterest each week, hardly any time at all, compared to how often we post on Facebook, how often we're updating Instagram. Pinterest is just that machine driving traffic to us behind the scenes all day, every day. The foundation of my six-figure business, it really started with Pinterest. So here's just a screenshot of my online shop sales, and this is just one source of my online revenue, but it all started with Pinterest. So why is Pinterest so powerful? Well, with one brilliant piece of content, you combine that with a gorgeous pin. That pin can spread on Pinterest and bring you traffic for years to come. There's just no other social media platform out there that allows you to set it and forget it like Pinterest. It's truly the best place to start when it comes to growing your online business. And now some of you may be thinking, okay, Bethann, this all sounds great, but I know you're not just using Pinterest. I found you through a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. And you're right, I use a lot of different marketing methods in my business. I'm a bit of a marketing nerd, and I believe in diversifying where your traffic comes from. But what I want you to know is that Pinterest for me is what started everything. Pinterest is what's constantly running behind the scenes, bringing me traffic and sales for free, so then I can go out and expand with some other marketing methods too. So like I said, I believe Pinterest is the best place to start when it comes to growing your online business. So here's what a few of my students have to say about using Pinterest. This is Ellen of Scripture Confident Living. She said, I am seeing steady growth of my Pinterest account and more page visits from Pinterest than any other source. Even though I'm totally new online, Pinterest is my main source of traffic and email list growth, and my account is growing organically without consuming much time or money. See, that's the secret there. Without consuming much time or money. This is why I always recommend you start with Pinterest. So Ellen says in January, she had just 550 page views on her blog. So she was brand new, just getting going. By February, she had almost 2,500 page views, and now in March, she's got over 3,600 page views. So in 60 days, Ellen has more than 6x'd her traffic using Pinterest. Are you getting excited? I hope so. I always get pumped up when I'm talking about Pinterest. Here's another one of my students. This is Sarah. She has a podcast and a blog called Bringing Up Betty, True Tales of Special Needs Parenting. She said, a few pins of mine have gone viral, and in May, I got 3,000 visits to my blog directly from Pinterest. Just for context, in April, she had only 262 sessions. So again, more than 10 times the traffic from Pinterest for Sarah. And that was in, just 30 days. And I want to speak to this viral notion. A lot of people will say, well, you can't predict when something's going to go viral or not. Actually, there's a lot that you can control. You can write juicy, killer headlines that make people want to click and share your content. You can create pin images that are gorgeous and compelling and stand out in the feed. You can create the kind of content that your ideal audience will love and share. And so those are all the things I'm going to teach you in class today. So while, of course, you can't predict exactly how much your pins will spread, you can more than double the chances of them spreading and bringing you loads of traffic when you have the right strategies up your sleeve. So let's dig in. I want to teach you how to double your traffic with Pinterest. In part 1, we'll talk about the 3-step system for putting Pinterest traffic on autopilot. So step 1 of this 3-step system is your home base. So your home base is your Pinterest profile. Your Pinterest profile needs to quickly demonstrate what you're all about and how you can help. So let me give you a few examples. This is Kelsey from Wife Teacher Mommy, and you can see in her Pinterest profile, she says, "Are you ready to save time planning? I help educators by creating resources that simplify teaching. Get started with a freebie." So right off the bat, Kelsey is incredibly clear on who she helps, who she serves, and you'll know right away whether you want to follow her or not on Pinterest. Kelsey doesn't say, "Hey, I'm Kelsey. I love coffee and long walks on the beach and playing with my kids." I mean, yeah, you and a million other ladies, right? No one cares. They care about how you can help them. They care about what's in it for them. I mean, let's just be honest. And Kelsey makes that abundantly clear with her profile. She will help educators to save time and simplify teaching. Awesome. Here's another example. So again, this is Sarah from Bringing Up Betty. She says, "Want to feel less lonely in raising your special needs child? My podcast will help and might make you laugh or cry. Click to listen." So I love that Sarah is crystal clear on her mission for her listeners and her blog readers. You may have a special needs parenting blog as well, but maybe your focus is on physical therapy tips and occupational therapy activities that you can be doing with your kids. That's not Sarah's focus. She knows that her mission is helping you feel less lonely, building a community, giving you a good laugh or a good cry. So Sarah is really all about that community building. And I love that she's just so clear with the exact way that she helps special needs parents. So I want you to start thinking about what your blog or your business does to help others. Whether you have an online shop and you sell a specific product, that product solves a problem for people. You need to get crystal clear on how you help and what's in it for that potential Pinterest follower who finds your profile and they're trying to decide, should I follow them or not? Should I check out their board? Should I save what they're doing or shouldn't I? So the next part of your home base are your Pinterest boards. Your boards need to reflect the interests of your ideal customer or blog reader. So here are a few examples. This is Andrea's Protein Cakery. So Andrea actually sells these protein cookie mixes. And so Andrea knows that her ideal customer isn't just, a mom with a sweet tooth. Her ideal customer is someone who wants to pack protein into every aspect of their diet. So, maybe they're a CrossFitter, constantly trying to add more protein to build muscle. Maybe they're a dieter and they want a healthier alternative. They want to be on a high protein diet to help them lose weight. But again, the key is Andrea's business is not just about cookies. Her business is about high protein cookies, right? So she's got her shop, she's got high protein recipes, baking with protein cookies, protein pancakes. I mean, this is everything protein recipes, right? Now, you and I might look at Andrea's profile and say, weird, I don't care about cooking with protein, and we're going to walk away. That's fine, because the thing is, when Andrea's ideal customer stumbles across her on Pinterest, they're like, holy schmoly, this is the holy grail of protein resources here. This is everything I need. I'm going to follow Andrea. I want to see everything that she's collecting and doing and finding on Pinterest because this is amazing. That's how you want people to feel when they stumble across your Pinterest profile. Here's another example. So this is Ellen again from Scripture Confident Living. So again, Ellen is not wasting her time pinning recipes or DIY projects or fashion outfit ideas or whatever. Like, these are all the things that people tell us, oh, those are popular on Pinterest. Doesn't matter. What matters is what's popular with your ideal blog reader. What's popular with your ideal customer. And so Ellen's got this blog where it's all about how to study the Bible. So all of her boards center around that. Bible study toolbox, where you're going to find, printables and extra tools. Bible study for beginners. It all centers around studying the Bible. So the second step, when it comes to the 3-step system for growing your Pinterest traffic, is your first impression. So most pinners are going to discover you through one of your pins first. That's what I like to call your first impression. So here's an example. If you would search on Pinterest for business advice for women, you may find that one of my pins comes up. This one right here, Excel for Dummies, crossed off. And then we say Brilliant Business Moms, learn how to track income like a pro. So when you are creating your pins, i.e. your first impression, you need to use gorgeous images, clear text, create a solid brand identity, and craft juicy headlines that people can't help but click on. Because remember, there are loads of other Pinterest results that are showing up, right? Loads of other pins that someone could click on. You've got to stand out. You've got to have the best pin, okay? So you can see here we've got our colors that stand out in the feed, a font you can read, a juicy headline, learn how to track income like a pro. Everything is on point, which makes it so much easier for us to get more clicks on this pin and more saves on this pin. So let's compare this first impression over on the left to these first impressions, which these are 2 of my pins. So you guys, I am not joking. This is a real pin I found on Pinterest, this pin on the left. It says something like, first of all, it's really, really hard to read that text. I mean, it like blends into the brown food. It says, when they look like this, ... enjoy. I don't know about you, but I have no intention of enjoying whatever this crazy concoction is. I mean, the photos are dim. There's nothing to set the scene. The headline is very confusing. There's no branded colors. I'm just going to be honest with you. This looks more like something I'd find in my toddler's diaper than want to find in my kitchen. That's not the first impression you want to make, right? You don't want people to see that when your pin comes up in the feed. You want them to see a pin like these 2. So here's an example, the 8-minute secret to getting more done all day. So compelling headline. I know you're curious, right? What's the 8-minute secret? So you want to click through. It's on point. It's on brand. We use the same 2 fonts all the time for the Brilliant Business Moms brand. We've got a cursive and then a block font. That's it. That's all we use. We've got colors that we use. So a certain shade of pink and gold and blue. And so everything comes together for a beautiful first impression. So this was a blog post, and then this pin on the right, Plan a Brilliant Life. This is a product pin. So this one will take you right to the Brilliant Life Planner where you can buy it. But again, this pin stands out so much more than the thousands of other planner pins that are out there because it's got branded colors, because it's got a lovely font, because we've set the scene with this picture of the planner on the desk. So there are so many strategies that you can use to make a fabulous first impression so that your pin is what stands out in the feed and not anybody else's. Now, we are going to deep dive on that first impression in just a minute here, but I did want to quickly review the third step of doubling your Pinterest traffic. And that third step is where you put Pinterest on autopilot. So once you've optimized your home base, i.e. your Pinterest profile, and then you've got a collection of pins that make a great first impression, you're now ready to put Pinterest on autopilot. You can do this by using a pin scheduler like Board Booster. They're my absolute favorite. And that pin scheduler will allow you to constantly share your pins every day. And literally with Board Booster, you can set it and forget it. So I'll address how this works a little bit later in class, but it's really incredible. You can be constantly sharing pins on Pinterest, constantly getting in front of new eyes without you having to lift a finger. You can also set Pinterest on autopilot by using promoted pins to get in front of the right people who are searching for exactly what you have to offer. It is crazy cool what you can do with these two tools. But for today, we're going to dive deep on that first impression because to me, this is the most important step for absolutely nailing it when it comes to your Pinterest strategy. So part 2 of class is how to quickly create pins that stand out in the Pinterest feed. So the average Pinterest user is bombarded with hundreds, if not thousands of pins every time they browse Pinterest. You've got to be one of the few that stands out, grabs their attention, and makes them either click or save your pin. And there are certain pin image formats that are more pleasing to the eye than others. So I'm going to teach you 6 pin image formats that really pop because you want to have a pin like this one, right? This is another one of my product pins, how I get to the first page of search results in minutes, the Get Found Guide to Etsy. So it's had over 3,000 repins. This pin has generated more than 2,500 in direct sales and has contributed significantly to about $5,000 in total passive product sales. Crazy. Again, created the pin, set it up, promoted it for a little bit, and then I forgot about it for a year, and it just brought me traffic and sales on autopilot. So let's go over those pin image formats so you can see those kind of results too. The first pin image format is the collage. So with a collage, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. First of all, don't just show the steps, but also show the finished product. You want people to be able to picture how that, fabulous tutorial blog post you wrote, how that finished product is going to look in their home. And, same thing if you're selling a product. They need to be able to picture what it's going to look like in their lives. The other thing you want to think about is using the same background. So this collage on the left has a gray background throughout, so it really unifies the collage. And then this collage on the right, it's all clean, white, bright photos with that same shade of blue throughout. So on the left, you can see this is a collage I created, and it's also a pin that I've promoted and used to make product sales. And the one thing that you can do if you feel like your collage is getting a little busy, like this one on the right, oh my goodness, it hurts my eyes just looking at this one, right? It's just way too much. So many fonts, so many colors, my eyes don't know where to focus. So if you're worried about getting too busy, what you can do is just create a stacked collage. So just like what I've done here, you just do one photo on top of the next photo on top of the next. That keeps things really simple and lovely, and it's a lot more pleasing to the eye. The other thing that you want to do is make sure you edit your photos in exactly the same way. So you want to use the same level of exposure, the same background, the same level of, sharpness and saturation, all of that. Keep that all the same so that your collage feels unified. So pin image format number 2 is the overlay. It looks like this. So the overlay is perfect when you're just using a stock photo, for example, and you really want the focus to be on the headline of the pin rather than on the image so much. So what I love about these examples here is none of them are using fancy fonts or, crazy colors. These are all pins that are really, really easy to create, but they grab your eye because you're focused on the headline. So this pin in the middle, I love how to stay disciplined and get a massive amount of stuff done each week. So my focus is on that text because of the overlay. If you're not sure how to do an overlay, my favorite free photo editing tool is PicMonkey.com, PicMonkey.com. And once you're on PicMonkey and you've brought in your stock photo, there's a little butterfly button. You hit that for overlay, then you drag in a rectangle, add a little bit of sheerness to that rectangle and choose the color you want, most often a black or a white. And that's it. That's all you need to do for your overlay. Then you can add your headline and voila, you now have a pin that really draws in the eyes and people can focus in on your brilliant headline. So the third pin image format I love is the use of white space. This is probably, in my opinion, the most pleasing pin image format, but it can be tricky to find. So the deal with white space is that it allows you to focus on both the headline and the lovely photo. So if you really want pinners to be able to focus on both, the use of white space is perfect. And of course, it doesn't have to be perfectly white. You can see this example on the right-hand side, 11 ways to raise a grateful child. All that they've done is just blurred out the background so that now in this blank space, I can really focus in on that headline. Now, my favorite tool for blurring the background, it's actually the wrinkle remover tool inside PicMonkey. It's supposed to be to remove wrinkles from people's faces, but I find that it does a killer job of smoothing out a background, blurring it out so that I can add a headline to my pins. Now, here's the thing. You may not be able to find photos with white space. So if that's the case, you can create your own white space by using pin image format number 4, the topper. Okay, for example, this pin on the right, this is one of my product pins. And a lot of you who have a product that you sell, you may find that you're taking square photos usually for your shop, and there's not a lot of blank background space where you can add a headline, right? Well, you're going to create that white space with the topper. All that you do is use the collage tool in PicMonkey or a similar program. And for the top of the collage, just use a blank white square. Or, of course, you could choose a different color as well, but I do find that the white square tends to work well. And now you've got plenty of space to add a headline. So mine says, announcing the Brilliant Business Planner, your life and business simplified. So what I love about this is it can take a product where, yeah, of course, this product looks like a pretty notebook or a pretty little planner, but I really have no idea from this picture what makes this product unique. Why is it different from every other notebook or planner out there? And how does it solve my customer's problem? Well, by adding that topper and adding a fabulous headline, now I've made it clear to my potential customers, hey, this is a business planner. It's your life and your business simplified all in one place. So that's the beauty of the topper. Another pin here over on the left, this is one of my blog post pins, 7 Secrets to a Stress-Free December. In this case, I absolutely fell in love with this gorgeous Christmassy stock photo. And so I didn't want to cover it up with an overlay, right? Then you just wouldn't even notice it. So again, I created my own white space with the topper, and now you can focus on both that brilliant headline and the gorgeous photo. Now, here's an alternative to the topper. It's what I like to call the middler. I totally just came up with these terms myself, but it really fits. So if you've got more than one photo you want to share, let's say you make purses and you're like, I really want to show, the outside of the purse and the inside of the purse, or, the purse at different angles. Awesome. You can do a photo on the top, do your headline in the middle, and another photo on the bottom. So this also works really, really well for those how-to types of blog posts where you want to show maybe a before and an after, or you want to show multiple steps in the process, but you want to add that headline so that you can really draw people in and tell them how fabulous your project is, or, your recipe, whatever the case may be. Pin image format number 5 is the frame. Now, the frame is perfect for those of you who have a more subtle aesthetic. Maybe you're looking at the middler going, yeah, I'm never going to use this really bold, huge font and black and white stuff. Like, doesn't work for me, right? If you're a little more subtle with your aesthetic, the frame is perfect. Here's what the frame does. It draws your eyes in towards the center of the pin. That frame just tells your eyes, focus here, focus right on the middle. And so you can take what would normally be a totally hidden headline, how to travel Europe on a budget. Like, this kind of blends in with that photo, right? Kind of feel like it needs an overlay. Well, instead of doing an overlay that blocks the lovely photo, they've just used the frame. So now my eyes are drawn into the middle and I can focus on the text. Same thing with this pin on the left. Again, one of my pins, the 8-minute secret to getting more done all day. You would never notice this, subtitle, getting more done all day, is pretty small. You wouldn't notice it unless it had the frame around it. But now your eyes can focus on that text. Pin image format number 6 is branded colors. So let me show you some examples. Now again, branded colors, this works for a blog post pin and it works for product pins. So the example on the left, how to choose the perfect name for your business. This is so incredibly easy to create. Literally grab a block of color, add your font, and you're good to go. And so for those of you out there who feel like, I'm not really great at graphic design and I don't have a lot of time to spend, you can pick your brand's handful of colors that, yep, this is on brand, this is what I'm all about, and just create a very simple type of pin template that you can use every time. And you can just drop your new headline right in there. Now take this example on the right of these high-heeled shoes. This bright blue really makes this pin pop in the feed. And think about Pinterest for a minute. There are so many pins that are lots of shades of whites and grays and overexposed and neutrals. So when you see a big block of color on Pinterest, it really stands out. And think how much more these high heels pop on this shade of blue versus if they had just been on a white background. Now, if you're not sure how you could get branded photos for your business, I like to use Savage paper, and I just get it on Amazon. You can buy huge rolls of all kinds of different colors of paper, and I lay those out on the ground and I can take my product photos that way. There are also lots of Etsy shops where if you search photo backdrops, you'll see tons of ideas. A few more examples here. So again, look at this pin on the left. It's like so insanely simple. It's almost ridiculous. But again, simply having that block of color means it will stand out in the Pinterest feed. And then the example on the right, this is from CaitlinBatcher.com. Caitlin actually has branded textures. So she's got this pretty confetti texture she loves to use, and then another dotted texture she likes to use. So Caitlin sticks to these 4 main colors. She's got her lavender, her pink, her blue, her yellow, and then those 2 textures. And now everywhere Caitlin is on Pinterest or all of social media for that matter, I recognize her because she's got distinct colors and distinct textures that she's always using in her content. Okay, so now that you know how to create a pin image that's really going to stand out, it's going to catch a Pinterest user's eye when they see it in their feed. We need to go beyond that though. We don't want them to just stop and look at our pin. We want them to click on that pin, right? We want traffic and we want sales and we want email subscribers. So you need to go beyond stopping and looking and learn how to craft pin headlines that will get you results. So there are several pin headlines that I absolutely love. The first headline format goes like this. Want X? Try this. Feel like your house is always a mess? Try this. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see this pin, I feel like this person is talking right to me. Feel like your house is always a mess? Yes, I do. It is always a mess. There's always a pile of unfolded laundry on the couch, right? I totally can relate to this. Then they say, try this. I love it. It's so simple. It's so subtle. They're hinting at the fact that, hey, I've got a solution to your problem, but I'm not going to give you the solution right here. try this. Click on over and see what I've got to say. And curiosity gets me every time. I always want to click over and see what advice they can share with me. Here's another example from Maggie Patterson. Want a super successful small business? Yes, if you're in this class, chances are you're raising your hand going, heck yes, Maggie, try this. So again, it's like Maggie's talking right to me and I answer back, yes, I do. And so now I feel like I've got to click through and learn from Maggie. The next headline format goes like this: the perfect X in X easy steps or X amount of minutes. Now, let me show you what I mean. The perfect messy chignon in 5 easy steps. So I don't know about you, but I really kind of stink at doing my hair. There are like 2 styles I'm good at. And other than that, I'm a total failure when it comes to these fancy hair tutorials that I see all over the internet. So usually if I stumble across a hair tutorial pin, I'm just scrolling right past it going, thanks, but no thanks. I know it's not going to work for me. But in this case, that word, the perfect messy chignon makes me feel like, okay, they really know what they're talking about. They're going to help me get this just right. And not only that, in 5 easy steps. So all of a sudden, a crazy, complicated, stressful hair tutorial feels really easy. It feels really doable. I'm thinking, okay, I can actually give this a try. Here's another example: the perfect 3 days in Paris. So again, you're thinking, okay, I've got to go to Paris for work. I've only got a few days there, just a weekend. Not really enough time to see much. I'm just going to hang out in my hotel room and watch some movies. Nope, not when you see this pin, right? They're like, hey, it doesn't matter if you only have 3 days. We're going to show you how to have the perfect time in Paris. And immediately I'm interested and I want to click on over and see what they have to say. Now, the third headline format goes like this: secrets. Well, secrets on Pinterest are a lot of fun. So again, I know I've shown this pin quite a lot, but it's a pretty popular pin for me. And hopefully at this point, you're starting to see why. The 8-minute secret to getting more done all day. So again, how many times have you seen a blog post on Pinterest like 5 ways to get more done today, or how to be more productive as a busy mom? Blah, boring, right? Like, I've seen those pins all over the place, and to me, they just feel like more of a chore. Like they're just going to add more to my to-do list. But this pin, the 8-minute secret, first of all, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got 8 minutes to spare if you're going to help me get more done all day. Not to mention, you're telling me it's a secret. I've got to know what the secret is. Now, this pin on the right totally cracks me up. 13 secrets you don't know about Aldi. Now, if you're not aware, Aldi is a discount grocery store. There's nothing exciting or compelling or interesting at all about Aldi. But when I see this pin, 13 secrets you don't know about Aldi, all of a sudden now I'm interested in discount grocery shopping and I want to click through and figure out what are these things that I don't know about Aldi. Curiosity gets the best of us every time. A few more examples: 35 secrets for a happy marriage. So compare that again to 35 ways to have a happier marriage. 35 secrets makes it feel like, oh, they've got something new to share, right? And the pin on the right, 10 makeup artists' secrets that will change your life. Now, every time I get to this pin, I always have students who ask me, Beth Ann, are you telling me that I'm supposed to create clickbait with my pins? No, I'm not. I'm just encouraging you to be confident that you have amazing content and amazing products to offer the world, okay? So, something that might seem completely obvious to you absolutely is a secret to somebody else, is absolutely something that will help somebody's life. So here's the thing about this pin: even though it says 10 makeup artist secrets that will change your life, When they say life-changing, I'm not expecting them to make my child behave perfectly or that they're going to help me earn $1 million. I know they're talking about makeup, right? So in my mind, if they can help me shave 15 minutes off of my morning routine, or they can help me save $20 a month on my makeup bill, yeah, that's a life-changing makeup secret. Let's move on to headline format number 4. Solve a problem once and for all. So, how to conquer your to-do list once and for all. That tiny little phrase at the end there makes me feel like, now this blogger knows what they're talking about. They're not just going to offer me 10 random tips that may or may not be helpful. They're going to give me a solution that solves my problem like one and done. So, I'm immediately interested. Here's another example: how to stop clutter returning for good. Oh my goodness. Like, I need this pin and this content so bad, right? Because clutter is an ongoing problem in my house. So by them saying, I'm going to help you stop it for good, yeah, you better believe I'm going to click through and see what they have to say. Headline format number 5 is appealing to someone's biggest fear. Now, I know there's a few of you who are going to be uncomfortable with this headline format, but give me a chance to explain, okay? So, 5 common writing mistakes that make you look like an amateur. Ooh, that one really hurts. The middle pin: 5 reasons you're failing at organization. So, think about it. What are all the fears that we all have? We have a fear of failure. Some of us have a fear of public speaking. I personally have a fear every time that I hop on and give a class that my microphone's going to be on mute for the first 30 minutes and no one will have heard anything I had to say, right? So again, it's that fear of messing up. It's the fear of looking dumb. We all have those fears. And if we're honest, when someone reminds us of those fears, it's like it's a pain point, right? It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to feel crappy about myself. I don't want to have this failure hanging over my head. I want to solve this problem, okay? And one thing I want you to know, for example, with this middle pin, this is from my sister-in-law, Abby, at justagirlandherblog.com. And here's the thing. Abby is like the sweetest, kindest lady you'll ever meet. She wouldn't hurt a fly. So when you click on her pin, 5 reasons you're failing at organization, on the other side, she's not yelling at you. She's not making you feel bad about yourself. She's so kind and encouraging. She says, listen, I used to stink at organization too, and I realized there were 5 really big pitfalls that were holding me back. There's 5 main reasons why you might be failing at this. But hey, don't stress. Take a deep breath, because we're going to walk through them together and I'm going to help you fix this problem. So that's what you can do on the other side of your pin. Now, this pin on the right is the perfect example of how sometimes you need to show people there's a problem first before they're compelled to click through and get the solution. So 7 sleep mistakes you don't know you're making. I don't know about you, but this pin makes me hyperventilate every time I see it because I'm going, wait, what? It's possible to make mistakes in my sleep? Like, what is going on? I'm making mistakes and I don't know about them. I'm stressed out. I'm thinking, I've got to solve this now. I don't want to be messing up my sleep, right? And so again, I'm compelled to click through. But if they just said something like how to sleep better tonight, I would breeze right past that pin, right? I'd be going, I know how to sleep. I've been doing that for 32 years, sucker. Don't need your sleep advice. So again, these headlines really work. They're compelling. They make people stop in their tracks. They make them want to click through and solve their problems. Headline format number 6 is like a rock star. So this is for those of you who are going, yeah, that all sounds really good, Beth Ann, but there's no way I'm going to call someone out on failing at something. That's okay. You will love this headline format then. So for example, how to handle messy play like a rock star. Now, I don't know about you, but as a mom, I feel like, yeah, I know how to handle messy play. But like a rock star, I don't know that I'm necessarily a rock star mom when it comes to messy play. So now I'm interested. I want to see, what does this mom know that I don't? The pin on the right, gifts that make you look like a rock star. Now, I always want to be that rock star gift giver. I want to be the aunt that gets my nieces and nephews the best presents. Like, I want to save Christmas and save birthdays. I just love that. So when I see this, gifts that make you look like a rock star, I'm so in. A few more examples. 5 ways to print coupons like a pro. Or my all-time favorite, how to organize your time like a boss. Okay, so now we've talked about the pin image formats that stand out. We've talked about the headlines that get results. Let's talk about part 4, the stress-free way to double your blog or online shop traffic. So it does take work and time to get clear on your ideal customer and pinner. But once you've optimized your profile, so here's my home base over here, and your pins, your first impression, you can set a lot of your Pinterest efforts on autopilot. So step 1, your home base, step 2, your first impression, and step 3, we're gonna set it on autopilot. So I want to talk to you for a minute about Pinterest versus using other traffic strategies to grow your online business. So here are 2 of my pins that are popular. The 8-minute secret to getting more done all day. This pin is less than a year old and it's had 11,683 hits. And again, I've just set things up with my autopilot system and I don't have to lift a finger. The pin on the right, how to pick the planner that's right for you. This one is just right at about a year old. It's had 15,406 hits. And the cool thing about this pin is, yes, it was a blog post where I talked about all these different planners, gave honest reviews, shared their pros and their cons, but I also got to talk about my own planner as well and click through. And so this particular really popular blog post also is a popular driver of traffic to my online shop. Now, let's compare that to some of my guest posts that I've done. So this particular guest post is almost 2 years old, and all that it's gotten me is 2,147 hits to my blog. This guest post on the right, this was on the Etsy blog, which a lot of people consider like the holy grail if you're in a creative type of business. Like, oh, if I could just write something for the Etsy blog, if I could just get featured on the Etsy blog, I totally have it made. Again, this blog post is 2 years old and it's only had 1,900 hits back to my website. And the total bummer is Etsy didn't even give me a Pinterest-friendly image, right? They've got like no good headline, a totally square image. It's like, thanks, Etsy, totally did not help me out at all. And the thing about a guest post is you're probably going to spend about 5 hours of writing that post, another hour back and forth with the blog owner, an hour crafting a fabulous freebie, an hour creating a welcome page for those new blog visitors. You're going to spend at least 8 hours of work. And again, you can see by my results, and you guys, I spent lots and lots of time, more than 8 hours of work for each of these guest posts, just being honest with you. If you're lucky, you'll get 1,000 hits to your blog over the course of 6 months. And again, that's if you're lucky. I mean, these are some of my more popular guest posts. We compare that to Pinterest, where I spend less than 8 hours total on Pinterest each month, and it's generating thousands and thousands and thousands of page views for both my blog and my shop. I mean, crazy. Again, so you can see, even just doing the math here, and these guest posts have been out on the internet for a whole extra year compared to these particular pins. So we're talking 5 times the traffic or more for way less effort, way less time on my part. The same is true, I've got to say, for, features. I could have also shared an example here of when we've given our planners and our products away to influencers to have them feature them on their YouTube channel or their blog. To be honest, those features, the results were even more abysmal than these particular guest posts. So I didn't even share them here. It's like, okay, great, I got a couple hundred hits. Nothing compared to these awesome pins that are spreading on Pinterest. So even with a team who works on promoted pins and does some live pinning for me, this is my team here, Ellen, Carly, and Victoria. They spend less than 3 hours a week on average working for me on Pinterest. And to be honest, most weeks it's a lot less. It's just a matter of if we're trying new strategies, if we're setting up a new promoted pin campaign. We love to test and experiment so we can pass that wisdom on to you. But in terms of the average Pinterest user, if you're a solopreneur and you want to use my advice and my systems to set things up and forget about them, you can do that for less than an hour a week. It's crazy easy. So let's recap what you've learned in class today. We've talked about the 3-step system for putting Pinterest traffic on autopilot, how to quickly create pins that stand out in the Pinterest feed, how to craft pin headlines that get results, and of course, the stress-free way to double your traffic. So this class is really about following a proven action plan that will get results, even if you're brand new or starting from scratch. As you've seen from some of my students already, they're seeing amazing results and they've just gotten started with their online businesses. This is about building a business and a life that you've dreamed of by gaining traffic and sales on autopilot. So you can go live your life, go enjoy things, right? Instead of being chained to social media or crossing your fingers, hoping that next big feature will finally pay off. Remember, I talked about the fact that I'm not a fan of the crossing your fingers strategy, right? I think we all deserve something smarter than that. The one thing I want for you to take away from class today is that there is a strategy. There's a map that you can follow when it comes to growing your traffic with Pinterest. And for me, Pinterest has been the fastest, cheapest way that I've found to grow my traffic and business. I've broken it all down for you inside my course so you can easily follow and apply my lessons to see your own results. What I want you to know is that I'm not a magical fairy unicorn. I used to be a nurse. I don't have a business background. I'm a scrappy stay-at-home mom, just like a lot of you are. And so if I can do this, you can do this too. So you've really got 2 options. You could spend a couple of years trying to grow your traffic and business yourself, or you can copy my strategies and you can start seeing major growth in the next 60 days. And in many cases, less than 60 days. So I want to introduce you to my full course, Brilliant Pinning, because of course, I'm not able to share everything that I've learned and all of my strategies with you in just 1 hour of class. There is so much more that I want to teach you and dig into and help you to do, and that's all inside my Brilliant Pinning course. So Brilliant Pinning is an online course with 46 lessons plus a lot of bonuses. So excited to share those with you today. There are 10 hours of detailed video tutorials, and you get lifetime access to the course plus unlimited course updates. As I said, my team and I are constantly testing and tweaking our Pinterest strategies so that we can bring you the most up-to-date information about how to use Pinterest in your business. We've just recently revamped this entire course so that everything is relevant. It's what's happening right now on Pinterest. This is not advice that's old and stale. It's what works right now. Brilliant Pinning is a comprehensive action plan to grow your business on autopilot. And it's a growth strategy that works for bloggers, shop owners, and any online business owner who's ready to double their traffic. Here's what some of my students have to say. This is Victoria of Creative Home Keeper. Since enrolling in your course last spring, my followers have gone from about 6,000 to over 14,000 in only 6 months. My repin rate has also been super high, but most importantly, my click-through rate has significantly increased. Woo-hoo! Is anybody else excited about those results? Because I know I am. That gets me pumped up. Her click-through rate has gone up. That means Victoria is getting a lot more traffic because of Pinterest. This is Kelsey of wifeteachermommy.com. She says, I've had 2 promoted pins now go from 100-something pins to over 1,000 pins in one day from promoting. The first one, a blog post, was my first promoted pin during the course. It got me over 100 email subscribers that first day. That's in one day, you guys, which was not normal for me at the time. It's now at 13,400 repins. I created another pin super quick on my phone, and it quickly got over 100 pins organically. So I promoted it. It's now at 7,800 pins. This one is for a product in my Teacher Pay Teacher store, and it has sold a ton ever since. Who is ready to create amazing pins that spread all over Pinterest and bring them product sales on autopilot? Do I have some raised hands? I'm raising my hand too. So with Brilliant Pinning, let's go over what is covered inside the course. In Unit 1, we'll talk all about your home base. I'll teach you everything you need to set up your Pinterest business account, find your future customers, and get your content in front of them. A lot of what you'll learn in Unit 1 applies to the marketing strategies that you'll use for your business everywhere you go online. You're going to learn all about how to define your ideal customer, how to communicate with them, how to connect with them, and you're going to learn how to create a Pinterest profile that gets results. And so you can quit wasting time pinning all sorts of random stuff that you don't need, right? So I'm all about being smart and curating only the kinds of content that your perfect customer or perfect blog reader will want to see. So you're going to save a ton of time by getting that home base set up properly. I've also got tutorials for you on how to clean up your boards, how to turn things to secret boards if you need to, just everything you need to get your home base looking gorgeous, including custom board covers for this year as well. In Unit 2, we'll talk about your first impression. You'll discover the secret to pins that stand out, get shared, and drive more traffic to your website. We'll also talk about Pinterest SEO, how to write pin descriptions that will help you to get found more often. We'll also discuss in Unit 2 how to use photo editing tools to get awesome results. So again, I don't leave anything to chance in my course. I make sure you're covered with every single video and tutorial that you need to be successful. In Unit 3, we'll talk about growth on autopilot. So you'll learn the strategies that put your pins in front of the right people faster and more often, and how to track your Pinterest data for even more growth. So I'll talk about buyable pins. I'll talk about Pinterest group boards. I'll talk about promoted pins. Again, I cover everything. This is not some general basic course full of boring advice you've heard everywhere else. These are real nitty-gritty, down-to-earth strategies that you can learn and you can implement. Now, most Pinterest courses will run you about $297. That's about the standard for a Pinterest course these days. But I've got some incredible bonuses to share with you today. I'm so excited for these. My team and I had the best time coming up with these bonuses to ensure that you were going to be successful on Pinterest. The first bonus is a style guide. So it has photos, color codes, and font pairings so that you can get clear on your brand identity. This is a one-of-a-kind style guide created just by us, so that you can decide on your business image without spending big bucks on a designer. Not necessary in this case. So the style guide is a $27 value. That's what I would charge if I was selling this style guide, for example, in my shop. So today you'll get Brilliant Pinning, the full course lifetime access, plus the style guide, a $329 value. But I've got another bonus for you. Board Booster. So Board Booster is my favorite pin scheduler. And again, inside the course, I'll show you exactly how to use Board Booster so that your pins are constantly getting in front of new people on Pinterest and getting shares and getting clicks. So Board Booster has partnered with me to offer you an extended free trial where you'll get 2,000 free pins. So you can give Board Booster a try and learn how to set your Pinterest on autopilot. That's a $20 value that you just saved yourself. So today you'll get Brilliant Pinning, the Brilliant Style Guide, and 2,000 free Board Booster pins, a $344 value. But I've got another bonus for you, case studies. Oh my goodness, I think these are my very favorite bonus in the whole course. This is where real business owners will show you how Brilliant Pinning has grown their email lists, multiplied their traffic, and generated passive income streams. So again, you don't have to take my word for it. This system works, and you get to hear from other business owners who have used my exact strategies to see results. I don't know about you, but I love to see those concrete examples for how someone is crushing it on Pinterest. And so that's exactly what you get with these case studies. Now, I don't offer these case studies for sale anywhere else, but if I did, I would charge $197 for them because they're so juicy. They are so good. One of my students, she is getting email subscribers for less than 15 cents each. She got 1,000 new subscribers in a month and was, relatively new to the online world. So exciting. So today, when you purchase Brilliant Pinning, not only do you get lifetime access to my incredible course, you'll get the Brilliant Style Guide, 2,000 free Board Booster pins, and fabulous case studies. That's a $541 value. And another bonus for you. So again, I told you my team and I had the best time coming up with these bonuses because we are committed to helping you be successful with Pinterest. And so we created the Quick Start Guide to Pinterest. This is for those of you who are new to Pinterest and you need to clear some things up, right? You feel like you've got a few things where you need the answers to them before you can really get started and dig into Pinterest. No problem, we've got you covered. With the Quick Start Guide, there are over 100 questions asked and answered. I cover pins and boards, images, getting your business account set up. You'll find all the answers you're looking for in one place. And again, if I was going to sell this in my shop, I'd charge $47 for it because it's really juicy, really fabulous advice. So today, when you purchase Brilliant Pinning, you get the Brilliant Style Guide, 2,000 free Board Booster pins, case studies from other business owners, the Quick Start Guide to Pinterest. You get all of that with Brilliant Pinning today. And another bonus, how to set up a Facebook retargeting campaign. Ooh, this one is really good too. So with Facebook retargeting, it is honestly a lot easier than you might think to set up. What you're going to do is you're going to close the loop with all of that new Pinterest traffic that you've driven to your blog or you've driven to your shop. You're going to get back in front of that traffic on Facebook and turn that traffic into sales. So again, these are video tutorials. I don't leave anything to chance. You know exactly how to set up your Facebook pixel and how to create a retargeting campaign. So again, you're not going to waste that Pinterest traffic you're getting. You're going to get back in front of that Pinterest traffic so you can get sales and you can get subscribers. So this free training is a $97 value. So today, when you purchase Brilliant Pinning, not only do you get lifetime access to the course plus all updates, you get the style guide, 2,000 free Board Booster pins, you get case studies, the Quick Start Guide to Pinterest, my Facebook retargeting training, you get over $685 worth of fabulous, juicy resources to grow your business. But I'm also including promoted pin examples. So if you're new to promoted pins, you will love this book of samples. I've gathered some of my favorite promoted pins from small businesses and well-known brands. So you can see exactly how they're using promoted pins to get results. So whatever niche you're in, whatever topic you focus on, you're totally going to have those light bulb moments when you go through this, this guide, and you'll realize, oh, I get it. That is how I can be marketing my business on Pinterest. So this, a promoted pin examples ebook, is a $49 value. Oh my goodness, friend. You are getting so many juicy good bonuses today when you snag access to Brilliant Pinning. But I've got one more for you. I know. We're a little bit crazy, right? So this is the 3-step formula for gaining Pinterest followers fast. Now, this is a strategy I don't see anybody else teaching, but it really works. And again, that's what I'm all about. I don't want to just give you the same old boring advice everybody else is giving you. I'm constantly looking for new strategies, new ways to cut ahead in line and get bigger and better results. So again, this isn't magic. It's just a proven strategy that, by the way, nobody else is teaching. You'll discover the secret sauce to quickly multiplying your space on Pinterest. So those of you who maybe don't have a ton of content yet to put out there, you can still gain a following and get your pins in front of loads more eyes by using this 3-step formula. So today, when you snag access to Brilliant Pinning, not only do you get my fabulous course that'll walk you through everything you need to double your traffic, you'll get the Brilliant Style Guide. You'll get 2,000 free board booster pins. You'll get case studies from successful business owners to see exactly how they are growing their businesses with Pinterest. You'll get the Quick Start Guide to Pinterest. So again, there's no confusion. All your questions are answered with that Quick Start Guide. You'll get my Facebook retargeting training. Ooh, this one is so good because we want to get back in front of our free Pinterest traffic and turn them into customers and subscribers. You'll get our ebook of promoted pin examples. They are really, really good, and they're going to inspire you and get you your brain churning with all the ways that you can create fabulous pins for your business. And you'll get my 3-step formula to gaining Pinterest followers fast. Now, normally, if I would sell all of these products individually in my shop, they would cost altogether $761. That'd be if you snagged each of these different items for yourself. But today, you can grab all of these bonuses for free. Plus, I'm dropping the price of my Brilliant Pinning course to just $157. And I know I might seem a little crazy for pricing my course plus all of these bonuses that low, but I am incredibly passionate about helping new business owners to grow their presence online. I don't think that you need to be rolling in cash and already successful in order to learn from me, right? You're here because you need to learn how to be successful. And so I am so excited to be pricing my course plus bonuses at a price that is affordable and accessible. It's something that you can grab today. And so a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, your business growth will be incredible. So here's what a few more of my happy students have to say. Stephanie from Page of Joy says, the Brilliant Pinning course has afforded me the knowledge needed to rapidly grow my email subscriber list through Pinterest ads. Without Brilliant Pinning, I was clueless regarding how much to bid for an ad, as well as details like daily budget, etc. Brilliant Pinning cleared the way so I can quickly build an ad with confidence every time I have a new opt-in offer to promote. Pinterest has proven to be an extremely affordable and efficient way to find my target audience and gain quality leads. Bottom line, Brilliant Pinning has saved me time and money, granting me the opportunity to reach and encourage more women. Win-win. Thanks, Brilliant Business Moms. Are you not so incredibly pumped up when you hear from someone like Stephanie? Stephanie is a lot like those of you out there. She's passionate about helping others. She's got a great blog and a great online shop, and she wanted to reach and help more women. Brilliant Pinning has allowed her to do that. And gotta tell you, Stephanie is one of the case studies that we have inside the course because she's getting email subscribers for 15 cents or less. It is crazy cakes what she's been able to do with Pinterest. This is Courtney from CourtneyWestlake.com. She says, I want to tell you that this is the most informative course I've ever taken. I've enrolled in many webinars over the years, and so many of those simply contain reminders of things you already know or tips and tricks that you might not be sure how to carry over into your own business. But the Brilliant Pinning course is absolutely packed with hands-on learning and a complete action plan. I took copious notes through each section of the course, and quite frankly, I left every lesson with new information I had never heard or seen before. To top it all off, you're so enthusiastic and genuine to listen to, which also made it fun. It feels like a brainstorming session with a friend. Thank you, thank you. I absolutely love this from Courtney. This gets me so excited. I love what she said about the fact that every lesson she got new information she had never heard or seen before. Again, my course is not basic. My course is not been there, done that, seen this before. You will learn new strategies. You will skip ahead in line and get better results than everybody else because I'm just so committed to constantly testing and trying new strategies that I can then pass on to you. So here's how to purchase if you're ready to get into Brilliant Pinning right now. So over in the chat box, you'll see a button has appeared with the Brilliant Pinning package. Just go ahead and click that button and you'll be able to get into Brilliant Pinning right away. So you'll put your information in after you click the button and then click continue to payment method. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you already have a Teachable account, make sure to use the email you access Teachable with. It'll just make it easier for you to access your course. Put in your payment information and click complete order. Within 15 minutes, you'll get a welcome email from Teachable to access your course. If you already have a Teachable account, you'll just log in and you'll see the course right inside your dashboard. Now, keep in mind, I am only offering Brilliant Pinning plus all of these fabulously juicy bonuses for $157 for the next 3 days. So if you're ready to double your traffic and grow your business with Pinterest, you want to make sure that you snag this offer while you can. When you take action today, I just know you're going to be giving yourself a major high five a few months from now after you see the results and growth that are possible with Pinterest. Now, I'm going to take some of the most commonly asked questions I get about Pinterest. So put the screen back on my lovely face here and give you a chance to snag your access to Brilliant Pinning in the meantime. So first of all, give yourself a major pat on the back and a high five from me because you did it. You made it through the class, how to double your traffic with Pinterest. And I hope that you are so amped up and so ready to go and start implementing these strategies so that you can grow your traffic. You can get that consistent traffic to your online store, consistent traffic to your blog, traffic to wherever you are hanging out online so that you can build your business with happy customers who want to buy from you again and again. And I'm so excited to help you get there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the most commonly asked questions that I get all about how to grow your business with Pinterest. Now, if you have a question that I wasn't able to cover during the Q&A, please don't be shy. Drop your question into the chat. My team and I will respond to you personally via email within the next day or so. Okay, so we are happy to help you out, but just for the sake of everyone's time, I'm going to focus on the most commonly asked questions that I get. Okay, so the first question I always get is, okay, Beth Ann, this was fabulous. I'm so excited. I want to grow my business with Pinterest, but, I'm a busy mom. I am short on time. So, realistically, how long is it going to take me to go through the course and actually implement this stuff? Because, again, I don't have all day. So the course itself is about 10 hours worth of video trainings. But what's great about those video trainings is they're all broken down into bite-sized pieces. So there are bits of that training where you may say, hey, I already know how to use PicMonkey or Photoshop to create fabulous pins. So I'm going to skip that tutorial and head over to this section over here. Or, I'm not ready to learn about promoted pins just yet. So I'm going to save that part for later. But all that to say, even if you wanted to go through every single video in the course, you could get through that in a weekend if you dedicated yourself to watching all those videos. Hey, set up your computer or your iPad while you're folding some laundry, unloading the dishwasher, and you will be through this course a lot faster than you might think. And then from there, you want to take about 15 to 30 minutes a day implementing what you're learning in the course. If you do that for a month, you will have implemented pretty much everything inside Brilliant Pinning. So that's really all it takes, is a month of a little bit of focus from you, a little bit of time every day to take action. And from there, you'll just be maintaining your Pinterest strategy. You'll just be adding a great new pin here and there. You'll be setting things on autopilot so that you are constantly driving more traffic to your site without having to put in a lot of time and effort. So again, totally doable even if you're a busy mom. And I get it. I'm a busy mom too. So I created this course with you in mind. So another great question that I get is, how many boards do I need to get started with? You may be brand new to Pinterest. Maybe you have a really basic account and you only have 2 boards on it, or maybe you're starting from square one. You've got nothing. You don't even have a Pinterest account yet. And so the thought to you again, if you go look at my Pinterest account, you'll see loads and loads of boards. You do not need to start out with that many boards to start seeing results. Okay. So my recommendation when you're just getting started is to start with 10 boards, and you want to have about 25 pins on each of those boards. Now, the one exception would be if you have an online store, for example, your first board can be the best of Sally's shop, for example, or if you have a blog, the best of Ellen's blog, that would be your first board. And let's say you only have 10 products in your store. No problem. Then you can just have 10 pins on that board. Same thing if you're brand new at blogging. But from there, the other boards that you create are going to be where you curate the best pins from all over Pinterest that will draw in your ideal customer, like we talked about during today's class. So for those boards, again, you want to have 25 pins where you're just sprinkling in some of your fabulous pins throughout. And if you're feeling overwhelmed even at the thought of creating 10 boards, take a deep breath. Because inside the course, I'll walk you through the process that you can take to come up with loads of amazing board ideas that aren't going to waste your time. They're going to all make sure that you're drawing in that perfect customer. So probably after you go through that training, you will have ideas for 100 different boards. So you'll have more than enough ideas for great boards that will get you results. But again, you can totally start with 10. That is a great place to start that will absolutely make your profile appealing to your potential customer. Now, when I talk about creating boards that are going to draw in your ideal customer or your ideal blog reader, the question I always get that goes along with that is, okay, Beth Ann, you're telling me that I need to be curating, pins from all over Pinterest. Doesn't that mean that I'm going to be sharing stuff from my competition? Like, how does that make sense? Why would I be pinning stuff that sends people to somebody else's website? What is the deal there? So first of all, I want you to kind of change that viewpoint that you have in terms of competition. I personally feel like there is a place for everybody in the business world. So, you may make handmade baby clothes, and guess what? There are thousands of other business owners who also make and sell handmade baby clothes. That is okay. There is still a place for you. So those other handmade baby clothing shops, they're not necessarily your competition. They're your community. And one thing that I discuss in the course is, how to figure out who your ideal customer is and what really makes you and your business unique. Because with those thousands of baby clothing businesses out there, they're all different. They all have a different focus, a different feel. They're attracting a different type of customer. So again, nobody's really your competition. There is a place for you. You are totally unique. You solve a unique problem in the marketplace, and so you need to be confident in that, okay? With that, I am not necessarily saying that, for example, if you have a shop where you sell bohemian jewelry, I'm not saying that you should have 10 boards on your Pinterest profile that are, bohemian necklaces, bohemian bracelets, all those sorts of things where you're collecting your necklaces and 100 other shops' necklaces as well. That's not what I'm saying. What you want to do instead is you could have a board that was beachy style, for example. So on that beachy style board, you're going to have beachy outfits, fun bohemian beach accessories, and of course, you're going to sprinkle in those gorgeous, fabulous pins that feature your bohemian jewelry, right? So those are sprinkled throughout those boards. So everybody else on that board, they're not your competition. They're selling beach clothing or beach hats, beach chairs. Maybe it's blog posts all about, having a great time at the beach. So they're not your competition. And what this is going to do, though, by curating the best of Pinterest rather than just sharing your own pins, is it's going to make your profile absolutely irresistible. So when someone comes and stumbles across your profile on Pinterest where you feature your bohemian jewelry, they're going to see that you've got beachy style boards and fall style and gift ideas for your free-spirited friend, all of these different things. They're going to love everything that you're doing. Your Pinterest account is going to be interesting and insanely helpful, and your ideal customer is going to hit follow so fast because they want to see everything that you're curating on Pinterest. But if they stumbled across your profile and it was just bohemian necklaces, bohemian bracelets, bohemian rings, and it was nothing but your jewelry 1,000 times, 1,000 pins worth of your jewelry, that's really boring. That's really flat, and they are gonna be out of there so fast. You'll never get that person back. They're not going to hit follow because you're not insanely helpful. You're not curating amazing content for them. Okay, so this is a great question for those of you who are just starting out on Pinterest. Should I turn my personal account that maybe has a couple hundred followers on it, should I convert that into a business account, even if it really doesn't have a lot of boards or pins that my customers are going to love? Or do I just start fresh with a brand new Pinterest account? So, great question. My recommendation in general is go ahead and convert that personal account to a business account. And what you can do is all of the pins and all of the boards that don't have to do with your business, that aren't a great fit anymore, you can take those boards and make them secret so that only you see them. So it's a really easy setting inside Pinterest. You just toggle that board to secret. So now your potential customers are not going to see that board. You can also delete entire boards. So that's also really easy to do. The reason I recommend you just convert that personal account is because you probably have a couple hundred followers there without even trying to have grown that account. And so it's really nice to be able to start with at least a few followers there versus starting literally from square one with nothing and no followers. So again, that's my recommendation to you. And even if you take every single board and you turn them all to secret, again, you're holding on to some of those followers. And so that's going to be helpful. So here's another great question for those of you who are just getting started. Maybe not even just getting started with Pinterest, but you are brand new with your business, right? So you're wondering, I'm so brand new, Beth Ann. I have so much to learn. Am I really going to benefit from the full course, or is this something I need to wait and take later? Well, I think that everyone with a business can benefit from brilliant pinning because I assume that you're new. I assume that you're just starting out, and I'm going to take you from square one and walk you through everything you need to be successful when it comes to growing your business with Pinterest. So, one of the first lessons that you'll see in the course is all about how to define your ideal customer and how to draw them in, how to think about the language that you use, how you help that customer, what the benefit to them is of following you on Pinterest. We're going to walk through all of that. And those exercises, in terms of defining that ideal customer, those are going to be helpful to you throughout your entire business. So it's not something that's just for Pinterest. It's going to help you think about how you market and how you grow your business on any platform or in any way, shape, or form. The same is true of some of the later lessons in the course. So I'm going to walk you through how to think about spending marketing dollars in your business in order to get more customers and get more sales. So we'll go over things like your cost per customer acquisition and how to spend your marketing dollars in a really smart way rather than just throw money at the wall and cross your fingers and hope it pays off. That's not a great strategy. So again, I'm going to show you how to think like a brilliant, savvy businesswoman, because you are, when it comes to growing your business. So yes, absolutely. Even if you're just getting started with your business, I think you'll benefit from this course. The other reason why I think brilliant pinning is a fabulous choice, even for business beginners, is because Pinterest is a great foundation for building your business. Pinterest is what really grew my business. So the cool thing with Pinterest is that once you master it, there is so much that you just set on autopilot and forget, and it's going to continue to drive consistent traffic to you. It's going to continue to just be working behind the scenes while you go out and conquer the next thing. So, for me, for example, I've got Pinterest running on autopilot, and then once that was running really well, I went off and I tackled Facebook ads and Instagram ads and, email marketing and all of these other things. But Pinterest continues to work behind the scenes for me, and it serves as that really strong, solid foundation in my business where I know every single month I'm going to get traffic to my site. I'm going to get traffic to my shop because Pinterest is doing that work behind the scenes for me. So again, that's why Pinterest is such a great place to start, because you're not going to have to keep spending so much time on Pinterest day in and day out. You're going to learn this. You're going to have this brilliant marketing strategy in place, and then you're going to be able to set it on autopilot and forget it. Okay, so I know that I've talked a lot about setting Pinterest on autopilot, and you may be thinking, that sounds great, Beth Ann. I would love to drive traffic to my site all the time on autopilot, but how in the world do I do that? Like, what are you talking about with this setting Pinterest on autopilot? Well, there are several ways you can set Pinterest on autopilot, and you're right, I didn't have time to cover those in depth during our class today, but that is something that I really dive deep on inside the course. So there are a few ways you'll do this. You can do this by being a part of group boards and then using a pin scheduler to dole out your fabulous pins to group boards around the clock. You'll also use a pin scheduler to continuously be sharing fabulous pins on your own boards. You'll also learn how to use promoted pins so that you can get in front of just the right people with your blog posts, with your product pins, with your tutorials, with pins that then lead to your YouTube videos and Facebook Live videos. You'll learn how to use promoted pins to get in front of the people that are going to love all of that fabulous fabulous content and those fabulous products that you have to share with them. So again, that's something that's going to happen on autopilot behind the scenes. You'll also learn all about Pinterest SEO. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And so you'll learn how to use the right keywords in your pins, in your descriptions, in your store, on your blog, so that when people search on Pinterest, your pins will be the ones that show up. And again, that's going to be working for you on autopilot. You'll just make those changes and add those brilliant keywords once, and then Pinterest search will do the work for you after that. So, I've mentioned promoted pins several times throughout the class, and I just talked about that in terms of setting your business on autopilot. And I know some of you might be a little freaked out at the thought of promoted pins, right? Because promoted pins is advertising. That's spending money on Pinterest. And so you may be wondering, do I have to use promoted pins to be successful on Pinterest? Because my budget is pretty small, Beth Ann. I'm not sure I have the money to spend on promoted pins right now. So absolutely not. You do not have to use promoted pins to be successful on Pinterest. I will teach you many, many strategies that you can implement for free, or you can implement for $5 a month using Board Booster to just dole out your pins to all the right boards and to all the right places on Pinterest. So no, you do not need to spend money on promoted pins. But I do think that over time, once you master all of those free strategies to build traffic on Pinterest, you're going to be ready to dig into promoted pins. And I'm going to be right there to guide you, to show you how to use promoted pins so that you don't waste your money in the meantime. You can use them in a really smart way. And promoted pins, that's actually one thing I'm really excited to teach on, because really, there aren't any other Pinterest courses out there who dig into promoted pins. Part of that is because a lot of other business owners are scared to use them, or they've tried promoted pins and they've totally tanked with them, and they don't know how to make them work for their business. So that's part of my secret sauce. I and my team, we are constantly digging into promoted pins, testing and tweaking new things, and sharing those strategies with you. Because again, to me, when it comes to mastering Pinterest, I don't want to leave anything unturned. I want to use every possible Pinterest strategy that I can to get the best possible results. So again, other Pinterest courses are not covering that, and we dig into promoted pins in a big way. So I'm excited for that. And that's something where because you're going to get lifetime access to the course, you can just table the promoted pins content if it freaks you out and you're not ready for it. It'll be right there waiting for you when you are ready for it. So speaking of the course, a lot of people are asking, is this self-paced, or do I need to be showing up for class the way I showed up for this class? And how long do I have access to this course? Because again, I'm busy. I want to make sure I have enough time to actually take in all these lessons and take action on this. So yes, the course is all self-paced. So when you purchase Brilliant Pinning, you get access to all of the modules, all of the video trainings right away. So you can log in, and again, if you want to go through the entire course in a weekend, you can. If you want to go through 5 minutes of the course a day and take a couple months to do it, you can do that too. It is absolutely at your own pace. With the course, you'll get the videos, but you'll also get transcripts of every single video, so you can easily go back and reference the content and get just what you need. There are lots of worksheets to help you break down what you've learned in the video and come up with strategies and an action plan that you can then implement for your business when it comes to Pinterest. So yes, you'll get all of that at your own pace, and you get lifetime access. And when I say lifetime access, I don't just mean to the content that's there right now. You get access to all the updates that I will ever make to Brilliant Pinning. And something exciting is I really recently revamped the entire course based on what's happening on Pinterest right now and what's working best for me and my students with Pinterest. And my old Brilliant Pinning students were so excited. I mean, they got access to loads of new training and content totally for free. And so again, when you purchase Brilliant Pinning with me, you get all the updates. When Pinterest changes, I will be on top of that, and I'll make sure that you have the trainings that you need to see results with Pinterest. Now, I know some of you watching may be bloggers. Some of you may have a product-based business. Maybe you sell on Etsy, or teachers pay teachers, or you've got a Shopify store. Others of you are part of a multi-level marketing company, and so maybe you're selling Beachbody products, you're a Beachbody coach, maybe you're doing an essential oils type of business. There are all sorts of different ways to earn a living online, right? And so you may be wondering, can I really make this work for me? Yes, the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And I want to give an example that is specific to those of you who sell a product or those of you who are part of a multi-level marketing company. I know that in class, I talked a lot about headlines for your pins, right? And you might be thinking, I don't have all these great blog posts. I don't even have a blog. What headlines am I going to be using for my pins? Or, is this actually going to work for me? Or do I have to go set up a blog and start making that part of my business in order to make Pinterest work? So first of all, no, you do not need to go set up a blog to make Pinterest work for you. You'll notice that I shared some of my own pins that I've used, and some of those are product pins. I may have just a pin that's gorgeous photos of my planner and link right to that product listing in my shop. And so those of you who, let's say you sell on Etsy, or you've got any sort of a product-based business where you've got an online store, I'm going to show you exactly how to upload fabulous, gorgeous, custom pins that you can use that will send people right to your online store. I'm also, though, going to give you some tips and strategies where you can make sure those visitors to your online store, they stick around. They opt in to your email list so you can turn them into a customer later. I'm also going to show you, if you're on Shopify, how to use buyable pins and the benefits of enabling buyable pins for your store. I'll show you the ins and outs of exactly how those work when it comes to Pinterest. So no, you can absolutely, if you have an online shop, you can create fabulous pins that go right to your products, and you can make Pinterest work for you. But I will say that if you also write the occasional blog post, and again, I'm talking one great blog post a month could be all that you need, you are going to have a few more options when it comes to using Pinterest to grow your business. And here's why. A lot of group boards on Pinterest are only open to people who are writing blog posts, okay? So if you only do product pins, you may not have access to as many amazing group boards. The other thing is that when it comes to the pins that people save on Pinterest and they're sharing with their friends or helping you get more exposure with those pins, those are often how-to pins, roundup blog posts, tutorials. They're content related, right? Yes, people will share a product pin, if they're decorating their living room and you've got a fabulous piece of art that you sell in your shop. Sure, they might save that pin, but the tutorial and content types of pins, those tend to spread a little bit further and get a little more traction. So you saw, for example, that, my pin that was how to pick the planner that's right for you. So that's a blog post that took me, a couple hours to write. It really wasn't all that time intensive. But that blog post drives loads of traffic to my site and also over to my shop, because of course I'm talking about my own planner that's for sale right inside of that blog post. So do not get overwhelmed at the thought of blogging and think that you have to write 2,000 word blog posts and you've got to be this amazing writer. No, that's not true. But what I want you to do, and again, I'll show you how to do this in the course is you need to think about, with your products that you sell, what makes them unique. Why is somebody going to buy your handmade baby clothes over that handmade baby clothing store down the street? So you need to get clear on that. And part of getting clear on that is doing more than just saying, here's my product, buy my fabulous thing, right? Like, that's not going to be enough to get someone in the door and to get them to buy from you. You've got to be helpful. You've got to show them that you know your stuff. And so you're going to be able to do that by writing the occasional blog post that just builds a great relationship with your potential customers. Okay. So again, no, you do not have to blog to make Pinterest work for you. But I want to be totally honest in saying that I think you're going to be more successful and see results more quickly if you're willing to write the occasional blog post here and there, okay? Now, the other thing that you can do if you really feel like there's no way a blog is not happening, Beth Ann, okay, that is totally fine. Then what I want you to think about is setting up a YouTube channel where you can demonstrate how to use your product, or let's say if you're in a multi-level marketing company, you can demonstrate how to use those products that you're selling, essential oils, for example, whatever the case is. Or you can do Facebook Live videos where it's the same principle. You're showing people how to use that thing that you're selling. You're showing people that you're an expert in whatever that thing is that you sell. You're being insanely helpful. You're building relationships with people. These are all the things that are going to set you apart and make someone want to buy from you instead of that similar business owner down the street. So the thing is, you're going to be able to take those videos and upload a custom pin to Pinterest and send people right to that video. Send people right to that Facebook Live that you did last week. So there are ways around this, but you will want to do your best to go beyond just a pin that is, here's my fabulous thing, buy, 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 because that's not generally a brilliant marketing strategy, and I'm all about teaching you ways to really get results with your marketing. Okay, so those were some awesome questions. And again, if you've got a specific question that I didn't have time to answer during class today, make sure you just pop that question into the chat and my team and I will get back to you within the next day or so. We are so happy to help. And of course, if you are ready to double your traffic with Pinterest, you're ready to grow your business on autopilot, make sure you take advantage of this offer to get brilliant pinning for $157 plus all those fabulous bonuses because this offer is only good for the next 3 days. And I cannot wait to see you inside the course, cannot wait to help you grow your business with Pinterest. And of course, now it's your turn to head out there and be brilliant.